So, oh, buddy's just rushed past my leg. Hello, bud. So then Peel takes office. Now, we've already dealt with his fall with the Corn Laws. I got my sequence a bit out of order there, but we're back on track now. This idea of amending the royal address has been a method used by several parties when they believed that they could defeat a government. Lord John Russell, next. One of the smallest men ever to be Prime Minister, and a very angry small man, as one of his friends described him, came into office with the Whig Party after the defeat of Peel over the Corn Laws. And Russell was considered to be a man who wanted to increase the number of people who could vote. But it just shows you what corners people get into in politics. Because for various complicated reasons, which I can't go into because of time, Russell, the arch reformer, finds himself in a position when another backbench member brings in a bill to increase the franchise. And for one reason or another, the government oppose it. And this is defeated by 100 to 52. Now that means only a quarter of the MPs were there. So Russell could have easily called another vote with the whole House present and survived. But he didn't. He got into a bit of a mood and he resigned in a sulk. Although he was in favour of reform, he was beaten on that very question. And then it turned out that the people who'd beaten him didn't want to form a government anyway because they couldn't agree, the Tories and so on. So Russell's government staggers on for another year to 1852. And this time it was fatal. It was 1852, and this time it was a row over foreign policy. The year before, the Foreign Secretary, Lord Palmerston, who died at the age of 81 chasing a woman up the House of Commons stairs, allegedly. I don't know whether he caught her, he probably did. Palmerston fell out with Russell. How often have you heard this? Leaders of the same parties falling out. So he falls out with Russell, says something injudicious in a telegram. The Queen forces Russell to make him resign, which he does. But he waits his chance in 1852 and he organises a vote of confidence against his own former leader, Prime Minister, and this time, on the 20th of February 1852, it's actually a bill about the formation of the militia. That's the voluntary soldiers. This is the most bizarre debate. It was all about one word. It went on for 3 days and it was all about whether one word should be included in the bill. It was pretty ridiculous. But it was known as a stab in the back. And Russell's government fell by a large majority. There was a coalition formed during the Crimean War by a Prime Minister, Lord Aberdeen, George Gordon, who everybody liked and everybody in their own way could support.